It's Jared from Britical Saiyans here, and today I'm going through the Turles deck profile. Been a while since I've done deck profiles, but hey, coming back with Turles, and this one's quite a fun one. So, to begin with, he has a permanent of if a Turles Crusher Corpse card in your battle area would be placed in its drop area by one of your skills, it's sent to the warp instead. For point of reference, there's nothing really in here that sends other cards to the drop, so there's nothing that's going to be sending the cards to the warp. And he's got two autos. The first being, when you play this card in your leader area, you plop this on your opponent's side of the field, which is weird, but it's fun, and I'll explain why. And then you've got the secondary auto of when this card attacks, add up to one card from your life to your hand, look up to 5 cards from the top of the deck, add up to one Turles Crusher Corpse card to your hand, then shuffle your deck. So, just a nice bit of search power. Although, really, you just want to get the Turles out your decks and keep everything else in there. And then its awakening is when your life is at 4 or less, or your opponent has 3 or more face up to life, you just do a nice little 1-1 and flip him over. So, again, the first permanent stays into the place where if you send a Crusher Corpse to your drop with your own skills, it goes to the warp instead. Its secondary auto is when this card does damage to your opponent, you choose what card they add to their from their life to their hand. So that's there so you can keep things face up, because the deck does have skills including like X amount of cards being face up on in your opponent's life, so it just gives you a bit more control. His auto is the bog standard attack and draw, and then it's got active main once per turn. You choose cards from your hand, place it to the bottom of the deck, and then you add a fruit of the tree of might from your drop to your hand, so you get one of these back, because the deck likes to cycle through them like mad. So I'm going to break convention a little bit. I'm going to start with this extra card before I go into the Unison for the deck, and then follow suit with everything else. So I'm going through this first because it's linked to the leader basically. But yeah, it's the Tree of Might. So, permanent, while in battle area, this card can't be placed in drop area by your opponent's skills. Reduce the combo costs of all Turles Crusher Corpse cards in your opponent's hand and battle area by 1. So, like I said, this goes on your opponent's side of the field, which means that they get the ability to reduce your combo costs, which is hilarious, and that's partially why I built the deck. It's got the auto of if all of your opponent's energy is mono green, if this card is in your battle area at the start of your main phase, choose one card in your life, flip it face up. If you do, your opponent adds up to 1 fruit of the Tree of Might from their deck to their hand, then shuffles their deck if they look through it. So, your opponent at the start of their turn would turn the card face up in their life if they can, and you would add one of these from your deck to your hand, which is lovely. But it does also have the active main of if your leader is a Turles Crusher Corpse card, you can place this in your opponent's battle area in active mode. I guess that's just there in case they would get rid of it for any reason. So, but it would have to be from a skill in your deck, which there's nothing here that would get rid of the Tree of Might, because obviously we want it there. So there's no need to worry about that, hence the fact there's only 1 copy of it in the deck anyway, because we're leaving it there. So as for the Unison for this deck, we have 4 copies of Raditz, because basically the only one who should run in this deck. So he's a specified cost of 3, 20k power, and he's got an active main of once per turn, you flip a card in your opponent's life face up, or you can +1 active main. You may choose 1 card in your hand and discard it. If you do, your opponent chooses a card in their hand and discards it. Then you choose up to 1 of your cards and it gains crit for the turn. So it could be your leader, a battle card, himself. You just pick something of yours and give it critical, which is handy. And then for -5 active main, your opponent discards 3 cards. So they get to choose, but you do tank 3 cards out of their hand, which is great if they've got a low hand, or you put them down 3 cards in hand, and then you're just like, right, -5, get rid. and then just wail on them if you can help it. Okay, that's all the X cards. So, going to the X cards now, and to start with, we have 4 copies of 4-star ball Parasite Darkness. So, counts as a Dark Dragon Ball in all areas. It can give 5k power for the battle when you use its active battle, just combo it basically. And then its active main, if your opponent has 2 or more energy, and you choose one of your mono green Turles cards with an energy cost of 3 or 4 and place this card under it, choose up to 1 green Turles Xeno with an energy cost of 4 in your deck or hand, play it on top of the chosen card and active, then shuffle your deck if you look through it. So, to give you a visual idea, your targets are this guy and this. So you place the ball under either of these two and go into this guy, because there is the Xeno line in here. So the Xeno line? Oh yeah, Xeno line, sorry. Anyway, so next we got 1 copy of Dormant Potential Unleashed. So counter attack, if your leader is mono green, choose any of your opponent's battle cards that add up to a total energy cost of 2 or less, KO them. Additionally, you may choose 1 green card in your hand and discard it. If you do, your opponent can only attack 1 more time this turn. So it doesn't outright negate the attack, it just lets you pop things and do a little bit of flying nimbus. And its permanent is, if you have a green Unison in play, you can activate it without paying its cost, which we do, we have credits. So, and again, we've got a singular copy for the greater good. So, counter, if it is green, negate attack, then choose it from one of your opponent's back cards, energy cost of 1, and KO it. So, just something to get rid of the little things. And its opponent is that you can use it from drop area if you send this and 1 other green card out of the game. But you can only do either effect once per turn. However, it does mean you get 2 negates from 1 card. So, it's a nice little way to have multiple negates in just a singular card. And then next, we have got the 4 copies of Fruit of the Tree of Might. So this again is an essential card for the deck. Active battle, if your leader is a Turles Crush Corpse card and all of your energy is mono green, and you flip up to 1 card from your opponent's life face down, you choose up to 1 of your leader or battle cards and it gets 20k power for the battle. If the chosen card has Turles in its name, they also gain double strike. So you can pay 1 to give something a 20k combo, and if it's Turles, you can make it a double striker, which obviously you're just going to really throw us on Turles unless you have no choice. But it is a lovely piece of aggression for him, and it's searchable thanks to Tree of Might. Next we've got 2 copies of Kill Driver. So active battle, again if your leader is Turles Crush Corpse, flip up to 1 card in your opponent's life face up, choose up to 1 of your leader or battle cards, it gains 10k power for the battle, then you may choose one of the following effects. So you either draw a card, or if it's your turn, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost greater than their current energy and KO it. So again, it's a 10k combo piece for 1 energy. You can gain a card, or you can just blow something up. That is like an evolve, or I'd say overwhelm, but maybe like dark overwhelm, a bit more accurate. So anything that just jumps their energy, you can be like, nah, get rid. And then finally for the X cards, we've got 2 copies of Shocking Death Ball. So counter attack, negate attack, then choose up to 1 of your opponent's back cards, energy cost of 2 or less, and KO it. And then if you have 5 cards in your drop, you can activate it by taking cards from your life instead. So it's just good if you run out of energy. And again, board removal. So next, moving into the battle cards. And to start with, we have our only 1 drop in the deck, which is the 4 copies of Turles, Invader of Earth. So this guy has unique and 4k, but he has 2 very handy autos The first being is when this card is played, you flip up to one card in your opponent's life face up, and then if your leader is a Turles Crush Corpse card, when this card attacks, look up 5 cards from the top of your deck, combo of up to 5 Crush Corpse cards among them, then shuffle your deck. So they just go straight into your combo area. You don't have to pay a cost, which they do have a cost of 1, but this guy ignores it because it goes straight to combo area, and if you're doing it from hand or like field, the Tree of Might ignores it, so that cost doesn't mean anything. And I say this like is essential at 4 because it's basically how you play your board out, and then later on he'll become quite powerful and just give himself free combo power. So, well, it does have unique, which is a drawback, but it's a good drawback, I think. Next, we have our 2 costs in the deck. And to start with, we have 4 copies of Sasau, Invader of Earth. It's just the bog standard, if your life's at 4 less super combo, but it's ran because it's Crush a Corpse, so you can just play it from your deck and draw a card. That's basically it. It's just searchable. It can be used by the 1-drop Turles, and yeah. Otherwise I'd be tempted to run other ones, but it's like, it's nice synergy, so I don't mind having 4 of it, but that's down to everyone's own preference. Next, I've got 4 copies of Day's Invader of Earth. So he's unique with 9k. Now all the Invader of Earth, so anything that's Crush Corpse besides Turles, all have this first auto ability of if your leader is a Turles Crush Corpse and this card was used in a combo from your deck or hand, when this card would be placed in its owner's drop area from combo area, you may play it in rest mode instead. So what you do is you, like, either from your hand you just do a strict combo, or you get it from deck using the Invader, you combo with it, and then it comes into play. So they all do that, and then they all have different effects on place. So this guy is, when he is played, you look up 3 cards from the top of your deck, add up to 1 Turles Crush Corpse from your hand, from your deck to your hand, and then shuffle your deck. So I run the 4 of this because it is just free search power basically. So it's like, why not? And then you've got a 9k beta ready for later. And our final 2-drop is 3 copies of Ryzen Invader of Earth. So he's got unique and blocker. He's got 5k power. Again, the first auto ability of after you combo with it from anywhere but battle area, play it. And then the secondary auto is if your leader is Turles Crush Corpse, when this card is played, you play up to 1 green like SI from your with an edge cost of 2 from your deck in rest mode, then shuffle your deck. I don't run his partner because all his partner did was play this guy out and draw a card. Just like, okay, so what? This guy's a blocker. And it meant I had space to put other cards in or bump numbers up on various things, so I just didn't bother with the other one. But this is a free blocker, so may as well run it. So next we got our 3 drops for the deck. So we got 3 copies of a Mont, Invader of Earth. It's unique with 9k, same auto as the previous 2. His active main, however, is you pay 1, you pay green, send this card to its owner's warp, then choose it to 1 of your opponent's battle cards with an edge cost of 5 or more, KO it, and you can't play another copy of his card for the turn. But it does mean you can just kill something, and you can do it after you swing. So you can get like a 9k combo, do whatever, and then afterwards you can pay a green to get rid of him and something from your opponent's side of the field, which is always good. Next in our 3 drops we have 3 copies of Turles Crush a Corpse Commander. So he's got 15k, unique and deflect. His auto is you choose 1 card in your hand and place it at the bottom of your deck. When this card is played, you draw 2, and this guy gains 5k power until the end of your opponent's next turn, and then you flip up to 1 card in your opponent's life face up. So being able to just like cycle your hand a bit, gains 5k during your turn and your opponent's turn, and then yeah, you can just flip life face up for the rest of your skills. He does have the active battle as well of you pay 1 green. If you have 2 or more Crush Corpse cards in your combo area, you play it from your hand. So you can do that during your opponent's turn, or just do it during your own turn, which is better, but it's a nice little surprise for your opponent if you're just like, oh look, I've got a 20k that you can't kill as easy, and I draw 2. So yeah. I don't know why I did that with my voice. Next we got our 4 drops. So to start with, we've got 3 copies of, oh my god, can't see that on camera properly. Sorry, the SPR is just blinding. We've got Turles Cosmic Rogue. So he's got 15k, unique, deflect and critical. Then he has 2 permanent skills. The first being, if you have 3 or more Crush Corpse cards in your battle area and you have 3 or more energy, reduce cost of this card in your hand by 2. And then during your turn, all of your Turles Crush Corpse cards in the battle area gain 10k power. So that's where being able to play them from a combo area comes in handy, because once this guy hits the board, which you can reduce the cost of by playing them out through the skill, and then guys like Days will just become a 19k beater, which is fun because it's awkward numbers. And awkward numbers are always best because it forces your opponent to throw cards that they didn't need to. And then he has the auto of when this card attacks, you choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards and KO it. So you're just constantly blowing stuff up, and he himself is a 25 crit once he hits the board, so it's very nice. Our next 3rd drop is one that we saw earlier, which is 4 copies of Turles Dark Parasite. So he's got blocker and 20k power, and then he just has the auto of when this card activates its blocker skill or it is removed from your battle area by an opponent's skill, your opponent may choose 1 card from the hand and discard it. If they don't, you draw a card and then flip up to 1 card from your opponent's life face up. So it's good when you play it out, because then you can just, you'll have the 20k blocker ready, your opponent swings, you block, you either force them to ditch card or you draw 1 and flip on their life face up. So, or if they just decide to remove it by like, oh, I'll just carry that card, it's like, cool, do you want to discard a card or am I going to get 1? So there's like no downside to it kind of disappearing, which is what you want really. And our last card for the deck, which is a 6 drop, we have 3 copies of Turles Chaotic Rampage. So he's got 25k power, critical and double strike. He is EX evolved by paying 3 onto a Turles Xeno Renege cost of 4. So that will just be the blocker I showed you before, which is again this guy. And then he has 2 autos as well. The first thing is when the card evolves into this, you switch it to active mode, then your opponent chooses 1 card in their hand and sends it to their warp, and then you flip up to 2 cards in your opponent's life face up. So just accelerated Turles. And auto once per turn, when this card attacks, combo with up to 1 green battle card from your drop area with its skills negated for the turn. So it does stop you doing like these guys as autos, just playing them out. But you can get anything from your drop area to combo with. So you could throw one of the 3Ks, or you could just call back one of your super combos and make him a 35. You don't get to draw, but you just get some raw power. And with that, we've come to the end of the Turles deck profile. So thank you for watching. Leave any thoughts and opinions in the comments below. We love reading them. As always, we'll see you later. Bye bye.